I'm Marc Dresner. Welcome to Inside ePharma, a special interview series featuring experts and thought leaders at the forefront of digital marketing and media in the pharmaceutical industry. Inside ePharma is brought to you by the 12th Annual ePharma Summit taking place March 4 through 6 in New York City. Joining us today is Dr. Roger Korman, President of DMD. Roger, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mark.
Very briefly, tell us, what does DMD do?
DMD is a specialist in making connections between sponsors of all nature and kind to healthcare practitioner audiences. Our particular specialty is expertise in the creative and deployment in the email channel.
Great, and that leads me to an obvious next question. That would be, tell us a little bit about the state of email use in the industry today. Where are we at?
Well, the email channel is very, very rapidly evolving. And if you look at the major investments by the monster companies, Gmail, Microsoft, Apple, Yahoo, AOL, they're pouring hundreds of millions, billions of dollars into email because it is the prime digital connective channel. When I look at the healthcare audience, it's a different state because much of what it passes for email today is really antiquated, old school, analog communication, which has been slapped into a digital format, but which is actually poorly suited for today's communication, especially to mobile devices. So the world around us is moving at one speed, and healthcare is kind of not moving very fast at all, and as a result, it's losing tremendous opportunities to exploit this primary digital communication channel.
And we'll get to those opportunities in a second, but you touched on something here that I think a lot of people need to think about, and that is, let me put it this way, how do you respond when a person or people say email is so yesterday?
Well, let's start from what is the most important element of digital communication today, and that's the mobile device. It's no longer really a mobile phone. It does do telephony, but it's really a multi-stage platform that is used for, as we all know, for multiple functions. The single activity that occupies most time on a mobile device is email, whether it's personal or work. So there is a one-to-one correspondence now between the relevance of email and the single most important platform today. And then, as I just mentioned, if you look at the fight for email addresses, it's the clash of the titans. Outlook is just ready to roll out its Outlook.com, replace Gmail. They're trying to seize the high ground from Apple and Gmail. So from Google, it's really an extraordinarily turbulent field.
And obviously, then a huge misconception about this being some antiquated form of communication. It's pretty startling when you actually look at it. What do you think, Roger, will distinguish the winners from the losers in leveraging the email channel moving forward?
It's the same critical factor that historically has distinguished winners from losers, and it's certainly everything about digital. And if you look at digital today and the discussion around what they call big data, it's all about the data. It's all about targeting. It's all about leveraging information about the end audience on an individual level. Here we're talking NPs, PAs, physicians, obviously, and understanding their habits, what day of the week they do email, what time of the day, what device they use, what formats are most suitable for mobile devices versus PC-based formats. So it's all about the data. And the winners versus the losers today are distinguished by their use of data. Unfortunately, or fortunately from what we see, there are no companies that we are aware of that are leveraging data in the email channel today.
And building upon that, what kinds of dynamic innovations do you see coming to the email channel?
Well, in pharma, pharma used to talk about the right message, about the right product to the right prescriber. Well, keep extending the thought to the right message in the right digital format at the right time of day to the right device. And it's completing that link to the person at the moment. And again, look at the world around you. Look what look what Facebook is doing, or Foursquare, or anyone that is active in the digital world. And it's all about delivering the right message at the right time in the right context. So digital communication will increasingly be personalized, and those companies that succeed are those that really carry down that continuum to meet the audience where the audience is out, both in terms of space and time.
So you're talking about essentially taking massive amounts of data that email affords us, and I think this is oft overlooked when people think about data, and really getting into micro-targeting here.
Well, it's a startling contrast between the amount of information that is available through the digital channel, through email, the amount that we collect, because we do collect it by prescriber, as I mentioned, by device, by time of day, by content, by email format, whether it's rich HTML or pure text, and then on the other hand, the fact that there is no micro-targeting in email, and I mean no micro-targeting. I mean no micro-targeting, even though there are huge amounts of data. So those companies that step up to the bar and start even using a small fraction of the information that is available, will seize competitive advantage and start to create distance between them and their competitors.
I want to close with one last question for you, and this is a little bit off off micro-targeting, and that is that pharma marketers frequently take refuge in MedLegal. What's your thought on that when it comes to the potential of digital channels in general, and what's the optimal MedLegal turnaround window for this kind of content?
Speed kills. That's my answer. Speed kills. Speed kills the competition. And speed is not what pharma is known for. So the companies that get faster at working within the digital channel are going to be the winners. It doesn't necessarily mean as marketeers you have the best product within the therapeutic class, but it's the ability to react and react to the market events, your competitors, or the world events, so that those folks who continue to take refuge in MedLegal are going to be the losers. And those folks who can work within their companies and get their companies to move faster will be the winners. So what's the optimal speed? Well, how fast does digital work today? Digital works within minutes, days, hours. That's the optimal time. If you're going to be a truly digital company, you're going to design, you're going to deploy, and you're going to move at the speed of digital. So the optimal time, in my opinion, is 24 hours. Now, everyone will scoff at that and say, well, my God, we'll have to hire, legions of lawyers and change our processes. And if you look back at other industries, other manufacturing industries, that's what the winners have done. They've changed their work processes, they've changed their throughputs to seize competitive advantage. So again, it's about speed. It's about speed and meeting the audience where your audience is at. And there is enormous room in the digital channel and the email channel for companies to accelerate and seize competitive advantage. And it's waiting there for those companies who step up to it.
Excellent. Roger, thank you. I think you've cleared up some very serious and significant misconceptions around email, and I also think that you've opened the door here to the huge opportunities, the possibilities that perhaps our audience has not fully understood or considered. So I really want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mark.
And that concludes this episode of Inside ePharma. If you're interested in hearing more from Roger Korman, he will personally conduct a special workshop on creating effective email marketing strategies at the 12th Annual ePharma Summit taking place March 4 through 6 in New York City. For more information or to register, please visit ePharmasummit.com. Until next time, I'm Marc Dresner. Thanks for tuning in.